Alright, I just decided just then, immediately after pushing record, I'm filming all these tonight, so we can get going with these. Armageddon, Cruiserweight Title. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys. Essentially, Billy Kidman has sort of been dodging challenges since Paul London, because London came really close to beating him at Survivor Series, and he's sort of been like, oh, I don't feel like wrestling tonight. And he does that a couple of times, and then Teddy says to him, alright, you've been dodging guys. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to defend that belt at Armageddon, and if you don't, I will strip you of it. And you're going to defend it against 5 other guys. Billy's like, what the hell? What? He's sort of and he says, I'm sick and tired of you dodging people. You dodge people not just on SmackDown. You dodged them on Velocity. So you are going to put that belt on the line, my friend, against 5 other guys. 5 guys you've been ducking. And the first guy's Paul London. Chavo Guerrero. He's only just come back, and he's ticked off at Paul, at Billy Kidman. You can defend against Nunzio, Akio, and Shannon Moore. So yeah, those 5 guys. First elimination: Chavo beats Akio, Nunzio beats Shannon Moore, London pins Nunzio, Billy Kidman, and then Billy Kidman pins Chavo, and then Billy Kidman beats London. Bam! He's back over. He's the number 1 guy again in the Cruiserweight division. WWE Tag Team Titles. Eddie Guerrero versus Rey Mysterio versus Regns and Rene Dupree. These are just the number 1 contender guys. They've gone through all the other competition. They put that stellar performance in at Survivor Series. They're the next team in line. So they don't go over. Eddie and Ray managed to squeak out a win. It's very close. They go over there. Team Japan is back. It's Kenzo, Suzuki, and Funaki. They're taking on Mark Jindrak and Charlie Haas. Haas pins Funaki. But this is really close. Funaki puts in a whole bunch of hard work here. We're working to get him back over. So, yeah, and this is not the real team that's in there as Funaki and Akio, so this was sort of just thrown together. US title final. It's the finals of the US title tournament. Cena versus Big Show. Cena goes over. And after the match, the Big Show just puts out his hand. He says, good effort, man. You deserve the he even hands him the belt and walks away. So Big Show has switched babyface. Yeah. Number 1 contenders match for the Royal Rumble. It's Undertaker versus Kurt Angle. And seeing as this is my world, Undertaker's going over because, well, yeah, he's getting another opportunity. Yeah. But Falls Count Anywhere, WWE title match, Booker T versus Rob Van Dam. Booker T goes over again. But that would be a really brutal match. Van Daminator would happen, and it'd be like he'd kick out of that, but it'd be like, what? I would even have him come close. He'd miss the 5-star frog splash, and then he would have a chair laid out on him, and this would be the finish. He's tried beating him with the Van Daminator. He's still out. He's still on the ground. He then slams a chair into his chest. He's going up. Booker rolls out of it, holding onto the chair, and he misses the 5-star frog splash. So even if he rolls in towards or further out, Booker's there. Rob's there. takes the chair, whack, and he's like, scissors kick, does a spinneroonie, calls him up again, bookend, because I would have him do the bookend to win matches, not the scissors kick. Royal Rumble rolls around. Yeah, I wouldn't have much on the news show or whatever that would be running this. So, building up to this, we have Billy Kidman one last time. This is London's last chance to get the Cruiserweight title. He's gone over just about everyone else, and he's beat them, and he's finally earned back his opportunity to get his title shot. And Teddy Long says this is probably not necessarily that this is going to be my last chance for a while. I've got to put other people have been doing their thing trying to get title shots as well. So anyway, what we have here is London going over finally. A big celebration. He's finally done it. He's finally got I think this would probably be his first time he's Cruiserweight champion. So big props to him. For whatever reason, that what happens here too is Undertaker has lost his opportunity to compete at the Royal Rumble. He put it on the line against Big Show. Big Show was able to defeat him. Mainly this is because I screwed up. But I'm just thinking this on the fly. And even though he lost, Teddy says, look, they switch places essentially. What happens is the loser of that match would still be in the Royal Rumble. He just wouldn't get a title shot at the Royal Rumble. So that happens. So Big Show goes in, but Booker T goes over anyway. So it's that simple. The SmackDown, the 15 SmackDown entrants are Orlando Jordan, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero, Kenzo Suzuki, Kurt Angle, JBL, Undertaker, Cena, Luther Reigns, John Heidenreich, Mark Jindrak, Charlie Haas, Rene Dupree, Hardcore Holly, and finally Rob Van Dam. Essentially, you would have the same match. You just have a couple of extra guys in there that weren't in there the first time around, and I think a little bit more star-studded than what actually was in there. I think Heidenreich wasn't in there, Undertaker wasn't in there, so you put that on there. Then we roll around the Wrestlemania tournament. This would be going on for the next couple of weeks. Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio. Kurt goes over. JBL versus Rob Van Dam. JBL wins after Van Dam hit. It should be after he is hit with. Hit with the Van Daminator. So essentially JBL has brought the chair into the ring. He is about to hit it. Rob trips him up, bang in the back of his head, and he gets up. Van Dam throws in the chair. The referee sees this. Van Dam hits him with a Van Daminator. DQ. Yeah, it's that simple. Undertaker versus Eddie. Eddie pins the Undertaker with a frog splash after a distraction from Randy Orton. Yes, we are still going with this. We'd probably just step it up a few weeks. Randy comes in. The final match in this would be Cena versus Orlando Jordan. Yes, Orlando Jordan and JBL are in this tournament, and John Cena would go over. Still holding on to that US title. Same thing here. JBL versus John Cena. Cena goes over. Kurt Angle versus Eddie Guerrero. Kurt Angle goes over. So we're going to this. Kurt is in No Way Out. It's going to be Kurt Angle versus John Cena. For one of the first times ever on pay-per-view, I think it would be at this time. Yeah, we're going to quickly run through this. No Way Out. Paul London versus Funaki and Spike Dudley in a triple threat match for the Cruiserweight belt. London wins by pinning Spike Dudley. 450, bang. It's out there. WWE Tag Team Titles, the Basham Brothers are back. They're taking on Eddie Guerrero and Mysterio, but Eddie manages to sneak past them. US title number 1 contenders match, Rob Van Dam versus JBL. JBL wins after a distraction from Jordan. Undertaker versus Kenzo Suzuki. Literally, I had no one for Undertaker to take on, so yeah, and he Undertaker goes over. By this time I would have realised that Kenzo just hasn't got it. I would have still worked with him, but Undertaker pins Suzuki, and after the match, Orton comes out, RKO, and puts a contract for WrestleMania on his chest. That simple. WrestleMania tournament final, Cena versus Kurt Angle. Cena goes over. Then we do the steel cage match. Same steps. Undertaker versus Booker T versus Big Show. The barbed wire's at the top, but Booker T manages to escape, and that's where I think we're going to end it. And we've got some surprises coming up, because we've got some matches coming up at WrestleMania, and I will be talking about those, and unfortunately I just haven't got the time to talk about them here, but I will be back.